guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is diuto. If this is your first time here, you're welcome, and please don't make it your last. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up at the end of it. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome, and I appreciate you for coming back. So in this video, I want to be talking about a very crucial topic which I feel is very important. So this topic is mostly for my generation, or people in their 20s, and most especially younger ones who are coming up, the ones who are in their puberty stage, who are seeing the life and seeing the world in a different perspective. So the topic of this video is guard your heart, Proverbs 4:23. And King Solomon said, "It's best for you to guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life." Now, the heart is the most important leadership tool, not experience, not skills. So whatever that is conceived in your heart is what will determine your next action. Let's take for instance, if you have hate in your heart, if you have love in your heart, whatever you have inside your heart is what you voice out. Remember, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If you have hate in your heart, you are going to speak hate. If you have love in your heart, you will speak love. If you have jealousy, you will speak jealousy. Whatever that is conceived in your heart is what is going to come out of your mouth. That is why we should always guard our heart. Now, in this video, I want to give you guys 3 most important reasons why you should guard your heart. A note of warning: I am just in my 20s. I am 24 precisely, and I'm not coming here to feel as if I'm perfect or I'm in any way better than anyone. But out of what I have seen, out of what I have experienced, I want to share this with you because I feel it's going to be helpful to someone out there. Okay, so let's get right into the video. The first reason is the heart is extremely valuable. The heart is the essence of who you are. It is your authentic self. It is also where all your dreams, all your passion, all your desires, everything you want to achieve in life, it's also conceived in your heart. Kids who are experiencing puberty, who feel that they can fly and they can do whatever they want to do, who feel that now they are getting into this adulthood, they are seeing life from a different perspective. These ones are the precious jewels that we have, because if you don't get them at the point where they are, it's going to be very difficult once they enter their 20s, especially they are 21. It's going to be very difficult for them to snap back to being who they want to be or who they originally envisioned themselves to be. One of the things that influences our younger generation, these younger kids who are experiencing puberty, who feels that, oh, now they've arrived and they can do whatever they want to do, is social media, peer pressure, and wanting to belong. Wanting to belong could also be under social media or could also be under peer pressure. This generation of kids, they are exposed to a lot of things. They are exposed to a lot of social media. I don't want to say, when I was growing up, when I was in my junior secondary school, we had phones that had internet. I remember we were doing to go, and that was when most of us entered Facebook and all of that. So we also had exposure when it comes to social media, but you can't compare it to the exposure that is currently available to these kids. Some of these kids, once they are 12 years old, they already have iPads, they already have iPhones, they already have MacBook, they have all these gadgets that can give them give them this leverage to go into these various social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, most especially TikTok. Most of these social media platforms exposes these kids to, I could say the real world. Because actually whatever we are seeing on social media is what is out there. You could say it's fake life, you could say it's this, but whatever is out there is always pleasing the flesh. It's always fake life. You're trying to do this to, post on social media for you to get likes and for people to see that, oh, you have arrived and all of that. This is actually the real world. I won't lie. This is actually what is happening out there. People are going to their extreme just to post something on social media. Now, I'm not saying that I use social media. I'm on Instagram. I use all of these things. I'm not saying that it's bad. Some people that post all of these flashy things, most of them maybe are sponsored or whatever you call it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the negative aspect of it. Kids go on social media and they consume a whole lot of things, and because they're very vulnerable, most of them are unable to filter what is good and what is bad. That is why most times parents should come into this. Whatever you see on social media, most of them are lies. Most of them are there to channel you to the wrong path. So most times when we move away from this puberty stage, we leave secondary school and you enter university, and maybe you're on social media and you get a DM from someone. I want to use Nigeria for example, because mostly I know about Nigeria. I don't know, I've not been here for a very long time for me to know most things. But let me say, for instance, someone DMs you and you're staying in Leeds, just like I stay in Leeds, and someone DMs you and like, come to, maybe you guys have been talking in your first year and you've been talking, and it's like, oh, come to London, I'm going to pay for your train ticket, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, give you this, I'm going to give you that. Or for instance, you stay in UNM, because I schooled in UNM. You school in UNM and you just got a DM from someone and you guys have been chatting, and he tells you, oh, come to London, or come to Lagos, or come to Abuja, that is going to sponsor your flight ticket, is going to do this, is going to do that. And guess what? You have a friend that does it. You have a friend that travels to see people, and when she's coming back with goodie bags. She's coming back with clothes, shoes, all these flashy things. And you're like, oh my God, it's not bad if this happens to me. Do you understand? If I get all of this, and you try to key it into this lifestyle. So before you do this, I want you to ask yourself a question. How do you feel? Are you battling with your mind? Because I remember that time. I want to use myself as an example again. If you want to do anything, you just be thinking about your parents. How would they see it? What will happen? Like, what if they catch me or something like that? And secondly, I want you to think of the consequences of whatever you're going to do. Now, for instance, whenever this type of thing comes up, I'll always think myself, what if I have an accident on the road? What will I tell my parents? Or what will I even tell God if anything happens to me? That I'm going to see a man, or that I'm going to do this, or that I'm going to do that. What will I tell people? Do you get? And also, you also have to think of the repercussion. When I get there, what are the possibilities that so and so thing might happen to me? What might happen to me? Or what is going to be this thing I'm going to do? Will it add any value to my life? Will it add any good thing to my life? I want you to weigh your options, weigh the advantage and disadvantage, and know if the disadvantage is actually weighing so much. Please don't do it. It's a sign that you should not do it. And another thing about your heart, why your heart is actually really valuable, is because that is what connects you with God, and that is what connects you with other people. Just take for instance, somebody serves you breakfast, you'll be like, my heart is broken. See, it's your heart that is broken, because that is what connects you with other people, and that's what connects you with God if you have a relationship with God. The second reason of why you should guard your heart is because the heart is the source of everything you do. So whatever decision you decide to make tomorrow, or whatever move or action you decide to take tomorrow, your heart is the one that is responsible for whatever you decide to do. And let me give you an instance. You go on social media and you see as soon as you just log on social media, you're seeing so celebrity just divorced his wife, or so this just divorced her husband, or so and this just got separated from their husband. And you go under the comment section and you see people saying, oh, this is the reason why I will not get married. This is the reason why. You see 1,001, not really 1,001, but you see a lot of comments saying, marriage is not for me, never ever, never this, never that. Some people are saying, oh, they will never submit to a man because this is what the man will do tomorrow to me. And this is what you see on social media. If you're not careful, you also have this perspective to life. If you're not careful, your mind will all be telling you, yeah, I think this is true. You shouldn't trust anybody. You shouldn't give your life to anybody. You shouldn't give your heart to anybody. You shouldn't submit to any man whatsoever. And that is what the social media is going to turn you into. And because bad things sell so much, you hardly see good things sell. But that doesn't mean that there are not 1,001 good things out there. Okay, when you come to divorce about for celebrities, I'm really sorry, I want to use only Nigerian celebrities because I'm not really conversant with every other country's celebrities, even here too. I want to use, take for instance some celebrities in Nigeria. You come online and you see, oh, Basket Mouth is divorced, or oh, this person is divorced, but you've forgotten some of these same celebrities who have celebrated years of marriage. Take for instance Timi Dakolo just few days back, he celebrated his 40th anniversary with his wife. I mean, there are a lot of them. There is Omotola, there is Omoni Obili, there is RMD, I think. There are a lot of them that are actually still in their marriages. So why do you choose to pick these bad ones? Why not think and reason and think, okay, yeah, this is happening, but that doesn't mean it has to happen to me. That doesn't mean that there is still no love out there, or that doesn't mean that there is still no marriages that are last for years and years and years. Most times in these bad informations, or in these bad things that we see, there is an atom of good inside. Now let me give you an example. When I was in my final year, I came on social media and I was reading these all these write-ups that people keep. Someone will come online and be like, oh, advise me, or so and so. So this lady, she came on social media and she was saying that she was lucky enough that after her uni, she got a job immediately, a well-paying job actually, in Lagos. And one of the days when she was at work, an estate agency came to their office and was advertising their properties to them. And she was curious, although she didn't really get all the points, so she had to call one of them to put her through every single thing. And she was like, she told the person that she's interested in acquiring a property. So when this particular person put her through everything, how to pay instrumentally and how much they will take from her salary every month, and within the space of 2 years she can be a proud owner of a property. And this property we're talking about is a 4-bedroom, I think, duplex. I think I can really recall it was a duplex 4-bedroom. And this was what this girl did for this pay. And mind you, this girl got a job immediately after uni, so I will just assume that she finished uni at 21, just an assumption. She finished uni at 21 and she started working, and this fool came to the office when she was 22, and within the space of 2 years she has already acquired a property when she was 24, right? So now she's 26 years, or I think 27 or thereabout. She met a guy who wants to get married to her, and they want to get married. Yeah, so this guy is giving her an option. He's giving her an option that if she does not change the property name into his name, that they're not getting married. I really don't know why she's seeking for such advice. I mean, it's so glaring. So I mean, topic for another day. So this was what she came. She was like, she's seeking advice. What should she do? Should she give him the property, or should she do this? Should she do that? Now you come under the comment section, you be like, oh, this is why I can never submit to a man. Oh, this is why I can never marry. Oh, this is why I cannot do this. How dare he? How dare this? A whole lot of comments, right? But guess what I took from this? Her story? I was in final year and I was like, it won't be bad if I acquire a property before I'm 23. That was what I took from it. I did not even think of the whole, because to me, I was like, this is already glaring. So why even asking me? It's obvious. You're not supposed, this guy is not you're not supposed to be with this person. Do you understand? So that is story for another day. But that was not my point. That was not my focus. My focus was, It won't be bad for you to acquire a property at the age of 24, or at the age of before the age of 23, or before the age of 24. And guess what? That was one of my goals, and that was the thing that was giving me drive. That was the thing that was making me to work hard or to save money to be able to pay for my trainings and all of that. I was really, really working. There was no day I was after my uni. There was no day I was not busy doing one thing or the other just for me to raise up money. I'm 24. I have not acquired the property yet, but that doesn't mean that I still don't have the mindset. That still don't is not up there. It's still up in my mind that see, oh, so you still need to acquire this. You still need to do this. You still need to do that. Whatever statement you see, you should always try to look for a good in it. If you don't see any good, then leave it, discard it. Is not for you. You don't need that information. This is also going to help you to guard your heart, because your heart is so valuable and is the essence of what you are. Just take for instance, if I had taken the bad part of it, I wouldn't have had this goal. I wouldn't have had this drive to achieve something in my life. Okay, I'm now seeing myself as a house owner, a property owner. So that is why I said the heart is the source of everything you want to do. Whatever you want to do is in your heart. So please just discard whatever bad news or bad information. You don't need it. You don't need it. Whatever you're battling with your mind to do, you don't need to do it. There is a strong conviction when you see something good and you're like, okay, this is the good thing I'm having. You're not going to have any confrontation in your mind. Oh, should I or should I not? Oh, should I? It's already a done deal already in your heart. So that is what you should always go for, just for you to have peace. Okay, now the third reason why you should always guard your heart is because your heart is always under attack. And from the two reasons I've already given, I'm sure you can even understand what I mean by how your heart is always under attack. I want to use this social media again, for example. So have you asked yourself a question? Why is it that whenever I come on social media, it's always bad things? I'm always hearing one bad news or the other. I don't know if you guys heard about the news of the 19-year-old girl who embezzled some money and she spent it on cars, designers, and I think a holiday trip or something. And the money, she embezzled a huge amount of money, almost $500,000, and she just squandered it on material things, not even as if things that are depreciating, not even things that will appreciate in future, nothing. If you also think about it, these are the things we see on social media. Oh, this person bought the latest car. Somebody that is 23 will come out and say, oh, I'm buying the latest car, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you're seeing it and you're like, oh my god, this is my age mate, what is she doing? And you want to now go and do the one you're not supposed to do. Most of these people, I want to acknowledge the fact that some people actually genuinely have this money at that age, while some people do not genuinely have this money. But that doesn't mean that you have to put your hands into the things you're not supposed to do. Okay, so please always guard your heart. So guys, these are the three reasons why you should guard your heart. Now, how do you deal with all this pressure, especially when you are still, coming up in age and all of that, and you're seeing all of this happening? How do you deal with it? And my number one, and I think is the most important, is embrace God. Whatever you do now, trust me, it's going to come back. If you decide to take any good decision now, it's going to develop you or add value to whatever you're going to be in future. Now, if you decide to do whatever is bad now, or whatever that is going to deter you from your future, most of the decisions we make at our 20s, are likely to affect our future. So what are those decisions? Are they the ones that are going to rip you off of that future you have envisioned for yourself? Some of this, I'm not saying that in your 20s you can't make mistakes. Mistakes are good. It's okay for you to make mistakes. But these mistakes you're making, there are some mistakes that can't be controlled. There are some mistakes that you need to make to be able to project you to whatever you're going to be in future. There's some mistakes you're going to make that's going to teach you a vital lesson that's going to help you in your next stage of your life. Do you understand? But there are some mistakes that you can control, but because of the pleasures of the world, because of the desires of the world, because of desires of the flesh, you did not control it, and it's happened, and these mistakes are ready to deter you from your future. I believe that as a young person, maybe you're still in your secondary school and or high school and university, there's somewhere you're seeing yourself as in future. Most times, when I remember when I was secondary school, I didn't even know the course I wanted to read, but I knew what I wanted to be. If you, not like I wanted to be, but at least I had a slight vision of what I wanted to be in future. I knew I wanted to have money. I knew I just wanted to have money. So how do I now have this money was what I don't know. But I knew that I just wanted to have money. Do you get? I wanted to like have a good job, a good paying job. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do all of this. So this is what I was seeing, and I believe that most of you also see this. You also have this vision, this thing you want to be in future. So why do things that are going to deter you? That is one of the reasons. That is one of the things why you need to embrace God, so you to discern this thing I'm doing. Will it mar me from my future? Will it deter me from achieving these things in my future? Will it deter me from doing the things that I hope and I believe that I can do as a human being? Do you understand? So that is why that is one of the things you need to think about. And that is the reason why you also need God to help you with all of this. You need God to help you with all of this. And another thing is your parents. I remember then, I told you initially that most of the things we do, I think of my mom. She's all my mom, say what my daddy say. What if my mommy and my daddy catches me? What if my uncle catches me? What if my this thought her? I'm in trouble if this one happens. Do you understand that type of thing? So we've always had this what will I call it? This backing. Because I believe that our parents are the gods sent by the Almighty God to guide us here on earth. They're the ones that are going to instill most of these things that we know. As you're growing up as a child, a baby is empty. She does not know anything. But it's whatever you instill in this child, that is what this child will grow out to become. Do you understand? Now, I can't call this fear. I wasn't scared of my parents. It's just like the fear of God. Whatever you do, you have to think, what would Jesus do? Or is this aligned with the Bible? Is this aligned with what the commandments, what God has told me to do in the Bible? That is what we call fear of God. That doesn't mean that God is going to come down from heaven, and if you do it, God will come down and be. No, God, see, let me tell you something. God has given you the New Testament, because in the Old Testament was when anytime Israelite does anything, God will beat them. God will do this. God will punish them for this. God will punish them for that. God was always. I'm sure that man was. Oh God, he's not a man. I'm sure God was always stressed with the Israelites, with the way the Israelites always fall out of his commandments. I'm sure he was always stressed. He's always stressed. But here with the new commandment, with the new dispensation, I'm sure God is just there. He's like, I've given you guys everything. I've given you the Holy Spirit. Jesus has come and he has gone, and I've shown you guys everything. So I'm not going to stress myself again. When you read the Bible, there is always a consequence for every action that you do. Whatever you do in this life, there's always a consequence for it. So I am not, God will be like, I'm not going to come down to punish anybody. That's why sometimes when things are happening, you'll be like, jeez, is God not there? God should come down and do this. He can't do it. He has already given us the New Testament. He has already given us the scriptures to follow. So why would he want to stress himself doing that? Do you get my point? That's exactly what the fear of God is. If you have the fear of God, you'll be like, see, the scriptures have said so these consequences is what I'm going to face if I do something like this. Do you get my point? That same thing applies to our parents. Our parents have instilled these values in us. So whenever we want to make these decisions, we have to think of them. What if something happens to me and they call my mom and say, this is that, or this is that. It's not going to be a good thing at all. Trust me, it's not going to be a good thing at all. How to deal with all of this is, first of all, you embrace God. Second of all, you have to think of the values that were instilled in you by your parents. You have to think of the values that you got by your parents. And yeah, with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And if you found this video helpful, please share it and also comment. What do you have in mind? What do you think about the topic I just had to say today? So see you guys in my next video. Bye.